Danaman fans, welcome to another Pokemon Meta TCG video. That's right, for the month of May 2025, we are in the last month of the season and all the regionals are rounding off. Maybe you're going to be attending your last cup or challenge to get enough points for Worlds, and that's right, the last big major international of the competition is obviously NAIC in New Orleans in early June. And that's right, Destined Rivals will be out by then, and that will shape our Worlds meta come August. But until then, we are going to look at what decks are cooking it in the last month of the Journey Together format. So without further ado, let's see what my top 10 decks are for May 2025. Okay guys, in at number 10, we have Eevee Box, or kind of Eevee Box with Noctowl. This deck is quite exciting. It did very well at the recent special event in Sevilla in Spain. It got 11th place, and this deck is really quite exciting. I really like how it operates. You put down the Eevees turn 1, and then you get your Flareons and Sylveons out as soon as possible. Sylveon EX is the Pokemon that excites me the most. I love its moves. It's got Magical Charm, which will do 160, and then every single one, no matter what Pokemon is attacked, will take 100 less damage next turn. And then the move that really cooks my goose is Angel Light, where you can obviously shuffle two of your opponent's benched Pokemon back into their decks. If they've got a couple of stage 2s ready to go or a fully charged Iron Hands, they're going to be incredibly frustrated. Yes, you can only do this every other turn. God, if you could do it every turn, you would win the game very quickly. Flareon EX is also very good. You can use its first move to search for 2 energy and obviously charge up a Pokemon like Sylveon, or potentially maybe the Latias or something else if you're attacking with that. Maybe the Lily's Clefairy, but it will also do 280 damage to its active Pokemon as well. This deck has got some good consistency. The Briar makes it very playable. You could potentially take 3 prizes in one turn when you're attacking with a Stellar Pokemon. You've got your usual bosses. You've got the Crispin there for energy acceleration, the Judge for a bit of hand disruption, and then your A-Spec of choice is the Sparkling Crystal to obviously take your Stellar Pokemon attacks down by 1 energy. This deck is great. It's got good consistency with the Noctowls to search for your trainers, and you've got a nice array of trainers you can use there. You can extend your bench with Area 0 Underdepths. It just unfortunately doesn't hit fast enough to kind of get up there with the top decks. So this is why this is my number 10 choice. Let me know in the comments if you agree. But next, let's see what number 9 is. Okay guys, in at number 9, we have the 6th place from the special event in Sevilla. That's right, we've got this Frostlass Monkey Dory spread deck. Now this, I saw this, I think For the Win TCG demoed this back in March, I believe, and I wasn't really convinced. I just thought this can't deal enough damage, but boy was I wrong. So what you do is you get your Monkey Dories down, you get your Dark Energies attached, you get your Snorlax down, and then you evolve into Frostless, and then it basically puts damage counters on any Pokemon that has an ability. You can also slow your opponent down with Badoo, and then once you've done that, you start spreading the damage with Monkey Dory. You take the damage off of them and you just spread it around the board. You've got Maractus there as well to trap something in the active, and if they attack you, you get knocked out, you put 6 damage counters back on them. You've got the Ursalada there for the late game to take a big 2 prize Pokemon down. You've got all these item and supporter cards to basically cause your opponent some disruption. You've got Counter Gain there to take your attacks down by 1. You could even use Monkey Dory's attack to confuse your opponent. I've seen that a few times. You've got Unfair Stamp there to obviously reduce your opponent's hand down to 2. This is a fantastic deck. You can even use Gravity Gemstone to do some extra damage as well. It's a good deck. It's a little bit fiddly. You've got to get the correct pieces and play them at the right time, but this deck is really good. If you like your spread deck, if you like a deck that's a little bit different, you know, that just doesn't put down basics, attach an energy and go for it, one with a little bit more strategy, this could be a fun deck for you to play. However, it does struggle against decks like Dragapult that obviously put down more damage than you do. Still, I really like it. It gets my number 9 spot. Let me know what you think. Let's see what's in at number 8. Okay guys, in at number 8, we have got our Chaladon. That's right, the big metal beast, and I really like this build. This is the Poison Archaladon build. Now, you would have seen something very similar at the EUIC final when they were playing the kind of poison engine, but that was with Terrapagos. This plays the same thing. You want to go first, and if your opponent's just got a 80 HP or less Pokemon in the active, and that's the only one, you try and go for the donk. That's right, you use Brute Bonnet there, you attach the item card, which is the Ancient Booster Energy capsule, to then make your active both Pokemon's poison. You then get Petulant in the active to then put an additional 5 damage counters on it. You get your Perilous Jungle to get an extra 2, and boom, you are potentially hitting 80 damage between the kind of the Pokemon checkup. If that doesn't quite work, then you've got the Binding Moki there. You can attach that to our Chaladon to make its attack do 260. We're also playing the Carmine there to get a quick discard to be able to play that supporter on your first turn there. You've obviously got Secret Box to discard 3 energy, which is what you want to discard, and then you can get 1 of every type of trainer. Such a busted ace spec, and you've got obviously that single copy of Badoo there to potentially slow your opponent down. This deck is a lot of fun, it packs a lot of punch, it just lacks that little bit of consistency, unfortunately. However, it has done well recently at a few regionals. It got some top 32 places, and this deck is still fun to play, and I recommend, if you like our Chaladon, if you like the kind of the Poison Box engine, this is the deck for you. Anyway guys, what is in at number 7? Let's take a peek. Okay, number 7, we have got Ends Zoroark. That's right, this deck got number 3 at the recent special event in Sevilla. That's right, you've got the Ends Zora there to obviously evolve up into the Zoroark, which can obviously mimic any Ends Pokemon that's on the bench. You've got the Darmanitan there, which can obviously do 90 damage to your active and then 90 to the bench. The first move is quite interesting because it does 30 more damage for each damage counter that's on there. You've obviously got the Ends Reshiram is a busted card, does 170, and obviously then does the same thing with Powerful Rage. It will do 20 times the amount of damage counters you've got on your active Pokemon. So yeah, interesting engine. You've got a Monkey Dory there to obviously spread a bit more damage around. You've got Prime Catcher and Counter Catcher as your gusting. Every deck seems to play Badoo and Solana nowadays. You've got the Cleffa there for a bit of draw in the early game. You've got Professor Turo to scoop something up. A nice deck. Doesn't hit for as much damage as it could do. I think it needs a little bit more. Maybe try it with the Poison Engine. You just seem to cap out at 170 damage, and that struggles sometimes. You know, if you're trying to knock out a Dragapult or a big stage 2, it's going to take you 2 turns, and they could potentially knock you out in 1 turn. So yeah, this deck's okay. For me, it's just not the top pick. I don't particularly like the Ends engine. I prefer Hops in this current format, but in the next format, well, you've got Rockets for engine and Ethan and all sorts of stuff. So for me, this is okay. It's probably the best deck out of those 4 trainers from that Journey Together set, but for me it just doesn't quite hit enough, so that's why it's got my number 7. Okay guys, let's have a look at number 6. Okay, in at number 6, we have got my favourite deck to play at the moment, and that is the Joltik box. That's right, little Joltik there, the 30 HP baby Pokemon. You attach, you want to go second. This deck is so important to go second. You go second, you get Joltik out with either a Nest Ball or Miraidon. You attach an energy, you get the other Pokemon you want to charge up, and then for 1 turn you can attach 2 Lightning and 2 Grass to any Pokemon. You can get Iron Hands charged up in 1 turn, and that's pretty much how you want to play this deck. That's right, you've got 4 Boss and a Prime Catcher, and you want to go for those single prizes, and you could potentially win this. You can potentially win in 4 turns. You do Joltik and then you do hands, 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 and you've won. What an amazing deck. It's so much fun to play. You obviously play the Clefairy there for the Dragapult matchup because you can knock out those Dragapults. You've got the Maractus is good to trap something, and then if they knock you out, you obviously put 6 damage counters on them. The Garvantula is a nice little addition. I like this because I've played this a couple of times online, and I've knocked out an Enzoroark for 360 damage. Brilliant card. Really like the fact it's grass as well for grass weakness. The Pikachu EX is obviously super important. You can do 300 damage to something if you get the right energy on there, and playing it with Power Glass is really cool as well. I haven't got Power Glass on this list, but if you do, you can obviously, and it's still in the active, you can get an energy from the discard and attach it. This deck is a lot of fun. The only thing that I don't like about it is it lacks consistency. If you have some hand disruption, let's say someone plays Iono and you've only got 1 or 2 prizes, you could be in a bit of a jam. Let's say you needed that, I don't know, you needed that boss's orders for the win and you ended up getting a metal energy or something, you're going to be in a bit of trouble. However, I'm going to play this at Cup at the weekend. I'm super excited to give this a go. This is my list that I'm going to be playing. I really like it. Obviously the Latias there is brilliant for obviously switching in and out those basic Pokemon, and the Ursalana is brilliant for the late game. It has saved me numerous times when my opponent is on one prize. Boom, I go in there and smack them for 240 damage, taking the win. I really like this deck. I hope it does well. It does. It did do well in Sevilla. It got 10th place, which I think was really good, and it was piloted by Thomas Abbott from the UK. So hats off to you, buddy. You did really well, and I hope this deck does better over the coming tournaments. Milwaukee is this weekend, so I hope it does well there. Right, let's see what's in at number 5. Okay, in at number 5, we have got Raging Bolt. Now, Raging Bolt's fallen off a little bit, but it's a fantastic deck, particularly when you play it with the Knocked Owl engine. That's right, Raging Bolt can do... It's just the basic turbo deck to play, really. I mean, you get the Sardas going, you get the... Ogopons going, and you're off. You'll be hitting 70 damage for each energy you discard. Potentially, I'd like to see this played with Joltik as well, because obviously you could play Joltik turn 1 and you could charge up 4 energy, and then off you go, really. You just need that fighting energy, and then you're smacking a lot of damage. Yeah, this deck, you know how this works. You play the Knocked Owls when you've got one of the Ogopons out, and you can search for any trainer card that you want. The Fan Rotom's there to obviously get the Hoots ready. You've got the Ditto, if that's in the active, you can switch. You can obviously turn that into something else, maybe an Ursalana or something. You've got the Latias for the switching. You've got Squawk, a Billy there, EX, to obviously discard your hand and draw 6 cards turn 1. The Crispin's good there for energy acceleration. You've got the Iono, which is obviously a standard card there for obviously hand disruption. And then you've got your Prime Catcher as your A-Spec, and obviously counter catchers as well, and you've got energy retrievals. This is a good deck. I like it. It just struggles against the stage 2s because obviously you need a lot of energy to discard, but it's still a really good deck, and I highly recommend playing Raging Bolt if you want a fun, good, consistent turbo deck. Right, let's see what's in at number 4. Okay, guys, number 4 is Terra Box. Okay, this got 4th place, as I've banged on about it all video, the special event in Sevilla in Spain. This is the kind of, with Gardevoir, this is the big brain box deck. It's what to play at what time. You've got so many things. Your main engine, obviously, is Knocked Out to get you the trainer cards that you need, but you've also got the Ogopon EX. You've got the Wellspring Ogopon to obviously do 100 damage and then potentially 120 to the bench. You've got Sop there to do 20 and keep your opponent's active Pokemon locked in there. You've got Ogopon EX, the Terra Mask one there for obviously to attach a grass and do some drawing. You've got the Clefairy for the dragon. You've got Pikachu for big damage. You've got Pheasantipede there for the draw. Solana's in every single deck. Mew seems to be in every single deck. You've got the Cornerstone Ogopon to act as a bit of a wall. Latias for the switch. I mean, you've got Terrapagos as well. I mean, there's just so much going on. You look at the trainers. Full Crispin, obviously, is brilliant for energy acceleration. Boss's orders, obviously, for gusting. Brock Scouting's really good to search for the basics if you're item locked. You've got obviously an array of energy here. Brilliant deck. I love the fact that there's so much going on, but it's just finding the right pieces at the right time and obviously using them correctly, which is why you play Noctowl. Guys, if you want something fun to play that's going to challenge you as a player and up your skill level, this is the deck for you. It does lack, though, sometimes when it comes to the bigger Pokemon, but it's still a fantastic deck to play and will go very far in tournaments coming in the future. Right, guys, let's see what's in at number 3. Okay guys, in at number 3 we have got Goldengo. Now I'm going to show you 2 builds of Goldengo here that have done extremely well. This one is the Goldengo with Dragapult. Now you've got the Dracoloaks for the draw engine, you've got Dragapult as a one-off attacker if you need to, but your main engine still is going to be Goldengo. That's right, Goldengo has got unlimited damage potential because you attach 1 metal energy and then obviously you can then discard as many energy as you have in your hand to do 50 damage. Obviously the ace spec of choice is the Energy Search Pro, which is obviously search for 1 of every single energy. You want to do that and then you're basically knocking out whatever you like. Your opponent can have 340 HP Pokemon with a Hero's Cape on it, making it 440, and you could still discard lots of energy, 9 energy, to knock it out. This deck also has really good consistency with the Dracoloak and obviously the Goldengo with its ability there. If it's in the active, you can draw 2. If it's on the bench, you just draw 1. Lots of good cards here. I like this build. The other build, which also does really well, is the straight Goldengo. Now you can play this, I suppose, with Dudunsparce as well, but I quite like this build. This is a nice, consistent, easy to use build. You've got a single prize of Goldengo there if you want to take out any of the wall decks. You obviously got the 4/4 line of Goldengo. You've got the Scyther and the Scissor for a bit more damage. The Perishing Blow there from Scizor does a lot of damage if it's got damage counters on it. Monkey Dory's there for moving damage counters around. Iron Bundle to do some switching, and then you've got all the standard trainer cards that you would normally see in this sort of deck. Which deck's the better one? I'm not quite sure. I think the Dragapult one's done slightly better in tournaments, particularly online, but it's completely up to you. There are many different builds of this deck, but either way, it's a fun deck to play. It's got great consistency and it's got an unlimited damage output, so you can knock anything out. Great deck to play. It gets my number 3. Right guys, what's in at number 2? Let's have a look. Yes, Gardevoir is back up there. It has won back-to-back tournaments. Oh my goodness, the recent one in Sevilla was amazing. It was won by Johan Barzanak. If I said your name wrong, I'm sorry. What a final that was. This deck is just brilliant. With the Monkey Dory, Gardevoir is absolutely busted. Why is it not number 1? Because Dragapult just hits that little bit harder. Even though Dragapult lost in the final in Sevilla, it's still, you probably guessed what my number 1 is already, but let's have a look at this deck in a bit more detail. So you've got your Ralts, your Curlies and your Gardevoirs. You've got your Monkey Dory there to remove damage. You've got your Clefairy for the Dragon matchup, which was used really well in the final. Screamtail and Drifloon are also excellent to be able to obviously move damage around. You play Secret Box to potentially discard those energy and look for any 4 trainers. This deck is really good, really consistent. Even playing Badoo, I saw Badoo played with the Bravery Charm to give 80 HP. Fantastic there. You've got your 3 Earthen Vessel to look for your Dark Energy and your Psychic Energy. You could potentially even discard an energy as well. Really good, really consistent. It's won many tournaments, and this is a deck that's going to do well right up to Worlds and beyond. Right guys, let's go see what's at number 1. You probably guessed what it is. Here we go. Number 1 is... That's right, number 1 is Dragapult. Now, as we know, there are 2 ways you can play Dragapult. Obviously, you've got the Dragapult with Dusknoir, or you've got straight Dragapult. Now, I particularly like straight Dragapult because it's a little bit more consistent and you have got a better array of Pokemon to play, and you're not giving your opponent free prizes. So, you've got the Dreepy, the Dracoloak, the Dragapult, the 4/4/3 line. That's standard. 2 Badoos there to start off, locking your items on your opponent and start evolving. You've got the Latias there, which is great to obviously switch out Ursalana or Monkey Dory if you get stuck in the active. Haunchula's great if you want to take down some 70 HP Pokemon. Obviously, you don't want to start with it. And then you've got the Fez, obviously, for the draw when you get knocked out with this Flip the Script. The bosses, 4 bosses orders is great to obviously get something in the active that you want to knock out or maybe switch over. You've got the 4 research is also really good to discard and great for the consistency. You've got 4 Brock scouting there to look for an evolution or look for 2 basics if you're item locked. The 2 Turos is really good as well if you want to scoop something up. The Buddy Puffins to get you started, and then the A spec of choice is obviously the Neo Upper Energy. Why the Neo Upper Energy? Because obviously you attach it to your stage 2 Pokemon, and obviously Dragapult can then attack as soon as it evolves. You haven't got to worry about 2 energy attachments. What an incredible deck. It's done very well at many tournaments. It's winning online consistently. I have to say, it is a deck that you need to fear. Even with the likes of Lily's Clefairy, which makes Dragon Pokemon weak to Psychic, it's still doing really well in tournaments online and offline. Will it go on to win Worlds? I definitely think this deck, along with Gardevoir, has the potential to take the Worlds tournament. Anyway guys, let's do a quick review. This is my top 10. Let me know what you think in the comments and let's review. Right guys, so we've got about 6 weeks at the time of recording of this video before Destined Rivals becomes legal. There are some fantastic decks. It's a great format to be playing at the moment. Let me know in the comments, are you going to any of the final regionals? Are you going to go to NAIC? Were you lucky enough to get a ticket? I think it's the biggest tournament ever at nearly 4,000 masters. What an amazing time to be a Pokemon player. Let me know, do you think Dragapult is the best deck, or do you think Gardevoir is the best deck? What do you think of the Ends engine? Do you like Joltik Box? Let me know guys in the comments what you think of my top 10 and what decks you're going to be potentially playing. I love Joltik Box. That's the one I've been playing online consistently for the last few weeks, and I think it's a lot of fun to play. Right guys, as always, I'll be back again in June with more Pokemon meta. I look forward to speaking to you then. In the meantime, have fun, play lots of Pokemon, and I'll see you all very soon guys. Take care and all the best.